Wrestling and bodybuilding have long shared a powerful connection, with many of the sport's biggest stars boasting impressive physiques built through relentless dedication in the gym. But it's more than just muscle. It's the heart, discipline, and stories behind these athletes that truly make their journeys fascinating. From legendary champions who dominated the ring with sheer strength to trailblazers who broke barriers with both brains and brawn, the world of wrestler bodybuilders is as diverse as it is inspiring. These are not just men with impressive muscles. They are individuals who combine grit, passion, and a love for performance to become icons in sports entertainment. Whether you're a wrestling fan, a fitness enthusiast, or simply curious about how these two worlds collide, this list highlights 10 incredible wrestlers whose bodybuilding roots shaped their unforgettable careers. Get ready to meet the muscle-bound legends who truly define what it means to be powerful, both inside and outside the ring. 1. Lex Luger. The total package defined. When the phrase "the total package" was coined, it perfectly captured the essence of Lex Luger, a man whose very physique seemed sculpted by the hands of a master artisan. Long before Lex became a household name in the wrestling world through his storied runs in WCW and WWE, he was already a standout figure in the bodybuilding community, renowned for his stunning balance of raw power and razor-sharp definition. Standing at an imposing 6 feet 5 inches, Lex's frame was a harmonious blend of thick muscle mass and detailed, chiseled contours, a physicality that was as impressive as it was rare during an era dominated by oversized, larger-than-life wrestling personalities. Lex's journey to becoming a wrestling icon was no accident. His early years were marked by a fierce athletic drive and a commitment to excellence that went beyond the wrestling ring. Before ever lacing up wrestling boots, Luger had built a reputation as a standout football player with a natural gift for strength and speed. Alongside his football career, he dove headfirst into bodybuilding, a pursuit he approached with the precision of a craftsman. His time in the gym was intense and methodical. Each weight lifted, each repetition completed, was part of a carefully orchestrated regimen designed to sculpt a body that could dominate both visually and physically. The physical transformation wasn't just for show, it shaped his mindset. Weightlifting taught Luger discipline, resilience, and an unyielding work ethic, qualities that would prove invaluable inside the wrestling ring. When he made the leap into professional wrestling, his presence alone was a statement. His bronze skin shimmered under the arena lights. His platinum blonde hair framed a face full of focus and determination, and his muscular form radiated strength and athleticism. He wasn't just big, he was symmetrical, balanced, and aesthetically commanding. Luger's bodybuilding background gave him a distinct edge that went beyond pure looks. It endowed him with stamina and explosive power, critical attributes in a sport that demands both endurance and bursts of intense energy. His matches often showcased a surprising agility for someone of his size, combining brute force with fluid movement that kept fans on the edge of their seats. In WCW, Lex quickly rose to fan-favorite status, embodying the total package in both physicality and style. His persona wasn't just about the muscle, it was the confidence, the charisma, and the undeniable aura of a man built to be a champion. 2. Tony Atlas, muscle, might, and breaking barriers. Tony Atlas's story is far more than just an account of muscle and might. It's a narrative of perseverance, breakthrough, and enduring inspiration. Before he carved out his name in the wrestling world, Tony was already a revered figure in bodybuilding, known for a physique that reflected not only power but an unbreakable spirit. His journey from humble beginnings to becoming a trailblazing wrestling legend is a powerful reminder of how strength of body can mirror strength of character. Born into challenging circumstances, Tony's early life was filled with obstacles that could have easily derailed his dreams. Yet what set him apart was an iron will that pushed him relentlessly toward the gym, a sanctuary where he could take control of his destiny. Bodybuilding wasn't just a sport for Tony, it was a transformative process, one that allowed him to build not only his muscles, but also his confidence. His dedication culminated in winning the prestigious Mr. USA title, a remarkable achievement that cemented his place among America's elite athletes and showcased the incredible physique he had honed. Transitioning from bodybuilding to wrestling felt like a natural progression. In the ring, Tony Atlas brought a rare combination of raw strength, technical skill, and an electrifying presence that captivated audiences. But beyond his athletic feats, Tony became a cultural icon, breaking down racial barriers in a sport that had historically been slow to embrace diversity. His success was more than personal. It was a beacon of progress during a time when inclusivity in professional wrestling was far from guaranteed. One of the most significant highlights of Tony's career was his partnership with Rocky Johnson, the father of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Together, they made history as the first African-American tag team to capture the WWE Tag Team Championship. This victory was more than a title win. It was a groundbreaking cultural milestone that resonated far beyond the squared circle. It opened doors for future generations of black wrestlers, proving that talent and perseverance could overcome entrenched barriers. Today, Tony Atlas is remembered not only for his impressive physique or wrestling accomplishments, but as a symbol of resilience and change. His story reflects the transformative power of bodybuilding and wrestling combined, not just as entertainment, but as a vehicle for meaningful social progress and inspiration. 3. Triple H. From the fallen bodybuilder to the game before, he was known worldwide as Triple H, the cerebral assassin, wrestling mastermind, and influential WWE executive. Paul Levesque was a teenager deeply obsessed with bodybuilding. From the age of 14, Paul immersed himself in the world of muscle sculpting, inspired by the legends of the sport like Arnold Schwarzenegger and other icons of the golden era. His youth was defined by early morning workouts, disciplined eating habits, and an unrelenting commitment to building a body that could one day stand among the greats. While Paul never reached the highest pinnacles of competitive bodybuilding, his dedication earned him regional titles that validated his discipline and hard work. However, the road took a sharp turn when he enrolled in the Killer Kowalski Wrestling School, a revered institution known for molding wrestling legends. His bodybuilding background wasn't just about his physical frame. It gave him a foundation of strength and endurance that would become essential in his wrestling career. When Triple H debuted in the early 1990s, his initial persona as the noble blue blood was met with mixed reactions. But it was his reinvention as the Game that marked his true arrival. This new incarnation combined strategy, raw power, and a deep mental toughness that made him a dominant force in the ring. His muscular build, honed through years of bodybuilding, provided the stamina and physical presence needed to deliver the intense, hard-hitting performances fans came to expect. Beyond physicality, Triple H's journey showcases how bodybuilding can develop more than just muscle. It builds mental toughness, confidence, and an unshakable mindset. His transformation from a gym-obsessed teenager to a wrestling titan illustrates the powerful synergy between muscle and mindset, proving that success in wrestling requires both physical strength and cerebral strategy. 4. John Cena, the weight room warrior who became a legend. John Cena's name is synonymous with WWE greatness, but behind the larger-than-life persona is a man whose foundation was built in the weight room. Growing up in Massachusetts, Cena idolized the muscular heroes of the 1980s, figures who combined strength, charisma, and an unforgettable presence. From a young age, the gym became his sanctuary, a place where he could channel his energy into sculpting a physique that was as imposing as it was balanced. Cena didn't just rely on instinct or passion. He complemented his physical training with academic knowledge, earning a degree in exercise physiology from Springfield College. This scientific understanding of the human body gave him an edge, allowing him to train smarter and optimize his physical development. He worked as a personal trainer and competed in local bodybuilding competitions, where his symmetry, conditioning, and stage presence hinted at a future far beyond the bodybuilding stage. His breakthrough came when WWE scouts recognized not just his physique, but his infectious work ethic and resilience. Cena's career in wrestling became a testament to his never give up mantra, a principle that inspired millions of fans worldwide. His bodybuilding background was instrumental in building the endurance and mental toughness required to withstand the brutal demands of professional wrestling, where every match tests the limits of pain and stamina. John Cena's rise from weight room warrior to wrestling icon is a story of perseverance, dedication, and heart. He not only dominated WWE's landscape, but also transcended wrestling to become a cultural figure known for his philanthropy, charisma, and relentless drive. His journey proves that the discipline forged in the gym can create legends both inside and outside the ring. 5. Batista, the gym giant turned WWE powerhouse. Before the world knew him as Batista, a multi-time WWE World Champion and a Hollywood star who commands the silver screen with ease, there was Dave Bautista, a man forged not only by genetics, but by sheer willpower and the relentless grind of bodybuilding. Bautista's journey began in a challenging family environment where stability was scarce and outlets for self-expression even scarcer. The gym quickly became his sanctuary, a place where he could channel the chaos of his early life into something tangible: strength, focus, and growth. Dave's towering height, standing well over 6 feet, paired with his naturally broad frame, gave him an immediate physical advantage. But what set him apart wasn't just his size, it was the obsessive dedication he poured into perfecting his physique. The gym was more than a training facility. It was a crucible where Dave honed his body and mind, pushing himself through punishing workouts that demanded every ounce of his resilience. He wasn't chasing mere aesthetics. Bautista sought a warrior's mentality. Each session in the weight room was a test of his discipline, a ritual that reinforced his inner strength and forged his identity. Bodybuilding instilled in Bautista crucial qualities: resilience in the face of adversity, the patience to persevere through setbacks, and the unwavering focus required to excel in an unforgiving environment. These traits would become essential as he transitioned into professional wrestling, a sport that requires not just muscle, but mental toughness and an ability to connect with an audience. Before stepping into the WWE spotlight, Bautista's real-world experiences further shaped his grit. Working as a fitness trainer and a nightclub bouncer, he developed a no-nonsense approach to handling pressure and confrontation. These jobs sharpened his instinct for control, situational awareness, and authority, skills that translated seamlessly to the wrestling ring. When WWE came knocking, Bautista's massive frame and raw talent made him an instant standout. His in-ring style was a powerful reflection of his bodybuilding roots: explosive, hard-hitting, and unrelenting. Every move he executed carried the weight of his intense physical training, turning matches into showcases of sheer power and athleticism. Rising swiftly through the ranks, Batista earned multiple world championships and carved out a lasting legacy as one of WWE's most dominant and charismatic performers. 6. Scott Steiner, the Muscle Monument. Scott Steiner, widely known by his iconic moniker Big Papa Pump, stands as wrestling's ultimate testament to what happens when a man dedicates himself wholly to sculpting the perfect muscular body. His journey to becoming one of the most recognizable figures in professional wrestling is rooted deep in the unglamorous, relentless grind of bodybuilding gyms, a story of sweat, pain, and unyielding ambition. From the very beginning, Steiner's towering stature and naturally muscular build set him apart from the crowd. But genetics were just the starting point. The gym became his sanctuary and his battleground, where countless hours of lifting, pressing, curling, and squatting transformed him from a strong young man into a muscle-bound titan. His physique was nothing short of spectacular: massive biceps that looked ready to snap iron bars, veins pulsing beneath skin stretched tight over a chest carved like stone. Every inch of Steiner's body screamed power. What truly distinguished Steiner was his absolute dedication to his craft. While many approached training as a routine, Steiner lived by a strict regimen of weightlifting, precision nutrition, and discipline. His obsession wasn't just about size, it was about symmetry, definition, and presence. He wanted to embody an ideal of muscular perfection that could silence arenas and captivate fans with sheer visual dominance. Years spent competing in amateur bodybuilding competitions proved critical. These contests were more than opportunities to show off his size. They were master classes in controlling every muscle, flexing with surgical precision, and commanding an audience through physicality alone. Winning trophies was important, but mastering the art of physical presentation was the true prize. When Steiner transitioned into professional wrestling, his Herculean muscles became his trademark weapon. His in-ring style was aggressive and unapologetically raw, powered by a body that looked like it could demolish anything in its path. Fans were mesmerized not just by his wrestling moves, but by the spectacle of his physique. His signature slams landed with the force of wrecking balls, leaving opponents and audiences alike in awe. The Big Papa Pump persona perfectly matched the larger-than-life presence of Steiner's muscles. It was a bold, brash, and confident character, a celebration of strength, swagger, and unapologetic masculinity. Over the years, Scott Steiner has cemented his legacy as a muscle monument in wrestling history. A man whose body was as integral to his story as his electrifying promos and unforgettable matches. 7. Big E, WWE's muscle tank from powerlifting. Ettore. Big E, Ewan's path to WWE stardom, stands out as a powerful example of how strength sports outside the traditional bodybuilding realm can produce some of wrestling's most formidable superstars. While many wrestlers have built their physiques primarily through bodybuilding, emphasizing muscle size, symmetry, and aesthetics, Big E's foundation comes from powerlifting, a discipline that revolves around pure, raw strength and the ability to push the human body's limits in three core lifts: the squat, bench press, and deadlift. Big E's fascination with strength began early in his life. Growing up, he found himself drawn not just to how muscles looked, but to what they could do, how much weight they could move, how much power they could generate. Powerlifting, with its focus on maximal strength, appealed to him because it demanded functional, real-world power, not just physical appearance. Unlike bodybuilding, where the goal is often to sculpt the perfect form, powerlifting is about pushing your body to lift the heaviest loads possible, testing your limits with each training session. Big E's dedication to powerlifting is impressive by any standard. At 5'11", his build is compact but incredibly dense, every inch of his frame packed with muscle designed for performance, not just show. His combined total in the three lifts often exceeds 1,500 pounds, a milestone that few athletes in the world can claim. This kind of strength is a testament not only to his physical abilities, but also to the hard work, discipline, and mental toughness that powerlifting demands. This unique strength base significantly shaped Big E's approach to wrestling training. He blends the powerlifting principles of raw strength with the necessary conditioning to keep his stamina up during the grueling demands of a WWE match. Wrestling is a sport that requires not just bursts of power, but sustained energy, endurance, and agility. Big E's workouts therefore combine heavy lifting sessions with intense cardio and conditioning drills, allowing him to deliver powerful moves repeatedly throughout a match without losing steam. His disciplined lifestyle extends beyond the gym too. Big E adheres to strict dietary controls that fuel his intense training regimen and help maintain his muscle mass and energy levels. This balance of nutrition, strength, and conditioning makes him a true powerhouse in the ring, capable of explosive moves that can change the course of any match instantly. But Big E's story in WWE isn't just about muscle and strength. It's also about charisma and connection. As a central figure in the wildly popular faction, The New Day, Big E pairs his physical dominance with an infectious positivity, humor, and genuine warmth that resonates deeply with fans. The New Day's blend of entertaining promos, catchy catchphrases, and feel-good energy has made them one of the most beloved groups in recent WWE history, and Big E's magnetic personality plays a big part in that success. 8. Rob Van Dam, the agile bodybuilder and high-flying icon. Rob Van Dam, affectionately known as RVD, represents a different but equally compelling example of how the bodybuilding world intersects with professional wrestling. Unlike the muscle-bound giants who focus on sheer mass, RVD's career is defined by his unique blend of physical conditioning, flexibility, and breathtaking aerial ability. His physique was never about raw bulk, but about crafting a lean, shredded, and incredibly functional body capable of speed, power, and endurance. A true athlete's machine designed for high-risk, high-reward performance. From early on, Rob Van Dam's training went beyond the typical bodybuilding regimen. While he built impressive muscle tone, his workouts included plyometrics, martial arts, and calisthenics, disciplines that improve explosive power, balance, and body control. This eclectic approach allowed him to develop the agility necessary for his signature high-flying moves. His famous five-star frog splash, a move that requires precision, timing, and exceptional core strength, is a perfect example of how his body was conditioned not just to look good, but to perform spectacular feats safely and consistently. RVD's regimen was a carefully balanced fusion of strength training and flexibility work, emphasizing durability and the ability to absorb the physical toll of wrestling. Unlike some wrestlers who might bulk up and risk losing speed or flexibility, RVD maintained a shredded, athletic look that enabled him to execute lightning-fast kicks, flips, and acrobatics. His conditioning allowed him to endure brutal impacts without losing effectiveness or risking injury, a critical advantage in a sport where every match can be a grueling test of endurance and pain tolerance. His approach challenged the traditional perception of bodybuilding within wrestling. Instead of just focusing on muscle size and definition, RVD highlighted the importance of functional strength and athleticism, traits that allow a wrestler to be creative, resilient, and dynamic. This combination made him a fan favorite and an influential figure who inspired many younger wrestlers and fans to value a balanced, practical physique over sheer bulk. Rob Van Dam's impact goes beyond his physical gifts. His style of wrestling, which blends martial arts strikes, gymnastic moves, and unorthodox tactics, revolutionized what fans expected from a wrestler's in-ring capabilities. He proved that you could be both strong and agile, powerful yet graceful, a bodybuilder and a high flyer all in one. His legacy is reflected in the generations of wrestlers who have followed in his footsteps, blending strength training with flexibility and speed to become more well-rounded athletes. RVD's career underscores that bodybuilding isn't just about aesthetics. It's about creating a body that works for your passion and performance goals, especially in a physically demanding sport like wrestling. 9. Jesse Ventura. From steel muscles to the political arena. Jesse Ventura's life story is one of the most fascinating and multifaceted journeys in the history of professional wrestling and beyond. Few athletes have transformed their lives so dramatically, evolving from a tough, disciplined serviceman to a muscular wrestling icon and ultimately to a prominent political figure. His path is a testament to the power of physical discipline, charisma, and relentless determination to break barriers and redefine what success can look like. Ventura's story begins not under the bright lights of the wrestling ring, but in the disciplined and demanding environment of the U.S. Navy. Serving in the military is no easy feat, and for Ventura, the Navy became a formative stage where physical and mental toughness were sharpened daily. The rigors of service life, from grueling physical training to the mental fortitude required during challenging missions, helped build a foundation of resilience and endurance that would shape his future endeavors. This phase instilled in him a no-nonsense attitude, an ability to persevere through adversity, and a mindset geared toward constant improvement. Following his military service, Ventura's attention shifted to bodybuilding, a sport that allowed him to channel his disciplined energy into sculpting a formidable and visually impressive physique. Unlike many who focus solely on aesthetics, Ventura's approach to bodybuilding was grounded in building strength and presence. He emerged as a muscular force in local competitions, his chiseled form standing out not just because of its size, but because of the commanding aura he projected. It was this combination of physical power and natural charisma that made him a perfect candidate for the theatrical world of professional wrestling. Known famously as The Body, Jesse Ventura became more than just a muscle-bound competitor. His wrestling persona was an electrifying mix of raw power and magnetic showmanship. In the WWF, now WWE, he carved out a niche by blending physical dominance with an entertainer's flair. Fans were captivated not only by his impressive muscles, but by the way he communicated through his body language, voice, and presence. Ventura knew how to work a crowd, making his matches as much about storytelling and character as they were about athletic competition. His promos and interviews were laced with wit and a sharp tongue, adding layers to his character that made him memorable and influential. 10. David Otunga, Harvard Brains Meets Steel Muscles. David Otunga's life story offers a fascinating contrast yet perfect complement to the traditional wrestling narrative. In a world often dominated by larger-than-life personalities whose strength is defined by brawn alone, Otunga brings a refreshing synthesis of intellect and physical power. His journey challenges stereotypes about what it means to be a wrestler or an athlete, and highlights the power of blending mental acuity with athletic discipline. Before stepping into the squared circle, Otunga carved a path defined by academic excellence. He earned a law degree from Harvard University, a rare achievement for someone pursuing a career in professional wrestling. Harvard, known for its rigorous intellectual environment and high standards, molded Otunga's analytical skills, discipline, and critical thinking. These traits distinguished him from many of his peers, who often came from purely athletic or entertainment backgrounds. Despite his scholastic achievements, Otunga never let his academic pursuits overshadow his physical training. On the contrary, he brought the same rigor and dedication to bodybuilding and wrestling. His focus was on creating a physique that was not just muscular, but defined, balanced, and functional. His workouts were methodical, emphasizing lean muscle, sharp definition, and athleticism rather than sheer size. This approach led to a striking and well-proportioned body, particularly noted for his sculpted abs and developed biceps. While Otunga never competed at the very highest professional bodybuilding levels, his appearances in amateur competitions and fitness magazine features earned him recognition as a thinking man's physique. This wasn't just about looks. It was a nod to how he harmonized intellectual discipline with physical development. In a sport where brute strength and showmanship often overshadow strategy and subtlety, Otunga's approach was a breath of fresh air. He embodied a rare breed of athlete who trained both mind and body with equal intensity. In the wrestling world, Otunga's presence was marked by calm confidence and a composed demeanor. Amid the loud theatrical personalities that dominate the industry, he stood out as a figure of quiet strength and professionalism. His in-ring style and promos may not have always grabbed headlines, but his persona exuded a seriousness and credibility that resonated with a different segment of the fan base. Otunga showed that success in wrestling could come from a combination of intellect, physical prowess, and strategic self-presentation. Stay informed, stay updated, hit that subscribe button.